Welcome to my channel Old Valuable Coins. If you're collecting state quarters, listen closely, because a few rare state quarters are worth life-changing money. Some ultra-rare mint errors in the 1999 Delaware, 2000 Massachusetts, and 2004 Wisconsin quarters have sold for huge amounts, with certain dramatic mint mistakes valued in the hundreds of thousands, and experts believe perfect major error examples could reach over $1 million today. Look for the 2004 Wisconsin extra leaf, high or low. Those rare varieties can skyrocket in value. Also check for off-center strikes, double dies, and wrong planchet errors hiding in pocket change. Don't underestimate your state quarters. One rare coin could turn an ordinary find into $1 million treasure. Keep searching. Coin number 1. The 2000 Massachusetts State Quarter is one of the most fascinating and collectible coins in the entire 50 State Quarters program. And today we're going deep into its history, value, rare errors, and everything collectors want to know. This quarter was released on January 3, 2000, as the first state quarter of the new millennium, and it represents the rich history and cultural importance of Massachusetts. The design features the iconic Minuteman from the American Revolution along with the outline of the state, making it one of the most patriotic designs in the entire series. Collectors have always appreciated the strong symbolism behind this coin, and that has helped maintain its popularity for decades. When the U.S. Mint released the Massachusetts Quarter, millions of Americans began collecting state quarters directly from circulation, and this coin became one of the most saved examples, especially in uncirculated condition. Even though hundreds of millions were minted, the condition, mint mark, and presence of any errors or varieties make a huge difference in value. For most collectors, high-quality or rare variety Massachusetts quarters are where the real excitement begins. The Philadelphia Mint produced more than 628 million Massachusetts quarters in the year 2000. While the Denver Mint produced more than 535 million. With such large mintages, circulated examples are still easy to find today, even in pocket change. However, uncirculated coins, high-grade coins, and unique errors can be worth far more than face value. Many collectors search rolls, bags, and older coin collections hoping to locate pristine examples or rare mistakes that can bring in strong value on the coin market. The design itself adds to the appeal. The Minuteman figure represents the courage and readiness of the colonial militia who stepped forward during the Revolutionary War. This makes the Massachusetts Quarter not only a collectible coin but also a piece of American storytelling. It's a favorite among history lovers, coin collectors, and anyone who appreciates designs that capture the spirit of a state. Because of this, demand for well-preserved examples has stayed strong over the years. While most circulated 2000 Massachusetts quarters are worth face value, uncirculated coins with sharp details and brilliant luster can carry a premium. Collectors especially pursue coins with clear strikes, clean fields, and no major scratches or contact marks. Over the years, some of the most impressive examples have sold for strong prices at auctions simply due to their exceptional condition. Even though millions exist, finding a truly flawless example is incredibly difficult because coins released into circulation face immediate wear. One of the main reasons collectors love the 2000 Massachusetts Quarter is the number of rare and interesting mint errors discovered. These error coins can drastically increase the value, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on how dramatic and eye-catching the mistake is. Popular errors for this year include off-center strikes, broad strikes, double strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and die breaks. Any error that affects the Minuteman design or the state outline tends to generate even more excitement because it's rare to find major disruptions in such a detailed design. Another sought-after variety is the rotated die error, where the reverse is rotated in relation to the obverse. Rotation errors can range from a small degree to extremely dramatic misalignments, and the more extreme the rotation, the more valuable the coin becomes. Collectors of state quarters particularly love rotation errors because they are visually obvious and easy to verify. There are also wrong planchet errors known for this year. A small number of Massachusetts quarters were accidentally struck on planchets meant for other denominations, such as nickel or dime planchets. Because these planchets are smaller or lighter than the quarter planchet, the resulting error coin is instantly recognizable once weighed or measured. These rare wrong planchet errors are among the most valuable Massachusetts state quarters ever discovered. Die cracks, cuds, and breaks appear on many Massachusetts state quarters, especially from heavy mint use. A cud, which forms when part of the die breaks off, creates a raised blob on the coin surface. Cuds around the rim or near the Minuteman design are highly collectible and can bring strong value from error specialists. Even smaller die cracks from the Minuteman figure or state outline can be worth more than normal examples. Collectors who focus on the 50 state quarters program often build sets of all 50 coins, and because Massachusetts is one of the early states in the series, coins from the year 2000 still receive steady demand. Many collectors prefer keeping full rolls or mint sets from the year 2000, because the coins inside remain uncirculated and often retain their original luster. These preserved coins can be far more appealing than circulated examples found in change. Even though millions of these coins exist, only a small percentage remain in truly high-quality condition. That's why condition is such an important factor when determining value. Sharp details in the Minuteman's clothing, musket, and facial features make a major difference. The state outline on the reverse should appear bold with smooth, clean fields. The better the strike and the fewer marks visible, the more desirable the coin becomes. Over the years, certain Massachusetts quarters in exceptional condition have sold for impressive prices at coin shows and auctions. These examples typically display razor-sharp details, brilliant surfaces, and excellent eye appeal. Even modern coins like this can be surprisingly valuable if preserved perfectly. Collectors are always searching for the best of the best. The Massachusetts State Quarter also has a special place in U.S. coinage because it represents one of the earliest and most memorable releases of the State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. This program became one of the most successful coin initiatives in U.S. history, drawing millions of new collectors. The Massachusetts Quarter helped drive that excitement, and for many people, it was the coin that inspired them to start collecting. If you have a 2000 Massachusetts Quarter today, the first thing to check is its condition. A worn example is common, but a clean, sharp, bright example can be worth keeping. Next, always look closely for errors. Off-center strikes, double strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, die chips, and any unusual markings can make the coin far more valuable than face value. Even a small visible error can help the coin stand out among common examples. For those who enjoy searching coin rolls, the 2000 Massachusetts Quarter remains a fun and rewarding coin to hunt. Many collectors find hidden gems simply by checking old quarter rolls from banks or inherited collections. Because this coin has been in circulation for more than 20 years, discovering an uncirculated or error example feels especially exciting. Coin number 2, the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter, is one of the most fascinating coins in the entire 50 State Quarters program. And today we're taking a deep dive into everything that makes this coin special, collectible, historically important, and potentially valuable. If you enjoy learning about United States coins, rare quarters, valuable errors, and the stories behind America's currency, then stay tuned because this Connecticut Quarter from 1999 has more hidden details and facts than most collectors realize. This coin is not just pocket change. It's a piece of American heritage that represents history, artistry, minting technology, and the excitement of modern numismatics. The Connecticut Quarter was released on October 12, 1999 as the fifth coin in the State Quarters program, following Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Georgia. Even though it came early in the program, it became one of the most iconic designs of all 50 quarters. The obverse features the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan and modified slightly for the State Quarters series. The reverse is where the beauty of this coin truly shines. It features the charter oak, the legendary tree connected to Connecticut's colonial history. According to tradition, the Connecticut State Charter was hidden inside this very oak tree in 1687 to protect it from being seized by the British. This makes the charter oak not just a tree, but a powerful symbol of freedom, independence, and the spirit of resistance. The designer of the reverse, T. James Ferrell, captured the massive branches spreading outward in a dramatic and highly detailed illustration that immediately caught the attention of collectors. Now let's talk about the mintage and the huge number of Connecticut quarters that entered circulation. Even though millions were minted, collectors still search for high-quality examples and rare error varieties that can be worth much more than face value. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of 1999p Connecticut quarters, while the Denver Mint produced a similar amount of 1999D quarters. But even with such high numbers, finding pristine examples can be surprisingly challenging, especially because these early state quarters were heavily used in circulation. That means clean, sharp, well-struck pieces with strong details are harder to find today. Many collectors put aside the Connecticut Quarter because of the intricate details of the charter oak, which tend to show wear faster than simpler designs. Even though the coin is common in circulation, there are rare and valuable versions that collectors look for. One of the most popular areas is minting errors. In 1999, minting technology was still transitioning, and the massive demand for the new State Quarters series meant the presses ran fast and hard. This created a perfect environment for interesting mint errors. Some Connecticut quarters show off-center strikes, where the design is shifted noticeably to one side. Others have clipped planchets, where a small crescent-shaped piece of metal is missing from the rim. Still others feature die cracks, die breaks, or die chips, especially in the branches of the charter oak because of how detailed the design is. These cracks often create raised lines or bumps on the coin surface, and depending on size and location, some collectors will pay a premium for them. The dramatic nature of the oak's design made it more prone to developing these small die defects. Another variety that collectors pay attention to is the possible double die, especially on the branches and the inscriptions, though strong examples are uncommon. Any doubling that is clear and noticeable would add value. Also look closely for die polishing lines, weakness in strike, or overly strong metal flow lines, which are sometimes associated with early strikes from fresh dies. A coin with crisp details in the bark and branches is often more desirable because of how complex this design is to strike perfectly. The Connecticut quarter is also widely collected in uncirculated condition as part of modern coin sets. Many collectors still have their original 1999 sets, and the Connecticut quarter is often the highlight because of the dramatic artwork on the reverse. If you come across bright, original pieces with no scratches, no fingerprints, and strong luster, those can be worth more to collectors even if they are not rare error coins. Since this coin was heavily hoarded during the early excitement of the State Quarters program, many uncirculated rolls still exist today, but high-end pieces remain desirable because not all rolls were stored properly. Now let's explore why this 1999 Connecticut quarter remains so popular in the numismatic world, even decades after it was minted. First, its design is truly unique. The charter oak is unlike any other American coin design. Intricate, artistic, bold, and full of symbolism. It stands out instantly, and many collectors consider it one of the best designs of the entire series. Second, because it was part of the first year of the State Quarters program, it carries extra nostalgia and historical importance. The first year of any major coin program is usually the most collected, and millions of people were saving these coins when they first came out. Third, the Connecticut quarter appeals to collectors of American history, colonial stories, and symbolic designs. The story of hiding the charter in the oak tree is a legend passed down through generations, and coins that reflect powerful historical narratives always attract strong collector interest. Fourth, because this quarter has so many fine lines and details, it becomes a perfect coin for collectors who enjoy studying varieties, die states, and minting errors. Collectors who study this coin carefully often use magnification to inspect the trunk, the branches, the inscription letters, and the small details around the rim. Any unusual marks that are raised, not scratched in, may be part of a mint error. For example, cracks forming from the trunk outward, or between branches, sometimes appear because of the stress placed on the die during striking. These small cracks can grow as the die wears over time, making late-stage examples more dramatic. Each die stage has its own characteristics that some collectors specifically pursue. Another reason the Connecticut quarter continues to attract attention is that it circulates heavily even today. Many people find them in their change without realizing that some unusual examples can actually bring premium value. People enjoy checking their quarters because you never know when an off-center strike or a die break might appear in an everyday coin. The 1999 State Quarters are still among the most commonly found early State Quarters in circulation, which keeps interest alive for new and young collectors. Coin number 3, the 2001 North Carolina quarter, was released as part of the United States Mint's 50 State Quarters program, a program that dramatically transformed modern coin collecting. This coin celebrates North Carolina as the birthplace of powered flight, honoring the Wright brothers' world-changing accomplishment at Kitty Hawk in 1903. The design captures the moment of the first successful airplane flight, making this quarter one of the most iconic designs in the series. Because of the rich symbolism and powerful historical connection, the North Carolina quarter continues to attract collectors more than 2 decades after its release. When you hold the 2001 North Carolina State Quarter, you're not just looking at a piece of metal, you're holding a miniature tribute to innovation, courage, and American history. The obverse features the familiar portrait of George Washington designed by John Flanagan. This is the classic profile that collectors recognize instantly, but on State Quarters, the portrait was slightly modified to enhance detail and fit the new designs. Along the rim you'll find inscriptions like United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the denomination $quarter. The mint mark appears beside Washington's ponytail, indicating whether the coin was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The reverse is where the North Carolina quarter truly stands out. Designed by John McCanty, it features Orville and Wilbur Wright's flyer lifting off the sand dunes at Kitty Hawk. Beneath the aircraft is the powerful inscription "First Flight," a phrase that represents not only North Carolina's claim to aviation history but also America's spirit of progress. In the background, the dunes stretch across the design, capturing the feel of the coast and the environment where the Wright brothers took their leap into history. This imagery makes the North Carolina quarter one of the most instantly recognizable and educational designs in the entire state quarter collection. Now let's talk mintage. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these quarters, and the Denver Mint struck a similar number. This means the coin is common in circulation, but certain uncirculated examples, high-grade specimens, and error coins can command strong prices. The San Francisco Mint also produced proof versions in both clad and silver compositions, and these tend to bring higher value among collectors who prioritize premium strikes and visual appearance. Even though the general mintage was high, the key to understanding the quarter's value comes down to condition, errors, and grade. Collectors especially search for high-grade examples graded MS-67 or MS-68, which are extremely difficult to find because circulation wear and minor factory flaws reduce the grade of most coins. A perfect or near-perfect high-grade North Carolina quarter can sell for significant premiums at auction because only a tiny fraction of coins survive in pristine condition. For instance, some ultra-high-grade North Carolina quarters have reached hundreds of dollars or even more when two or more collectors compete for register-quality examples. Error coins are another major reason collectors seek out the North Carolina quarter. Popular errors include off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, die chips, and dramatic strike-throughs. An off-center Florida quarter showing 10 to 30% off-center with a clear date can sell for strong premiums, sometimes reaching well over $100 depending on severity. Coins with die chips around the right flyer or around Washington's eye, nose, or ponytail can also bring surprising prices, especially if the chip is large and visually interesting. Struck-through grease errors, where parts of the design are missing or faded, also attract collectors interested in unusual coins that stand out from normal circulation strikes. Another variety to look for includes the extra metal or cud errors along the rim. These happen when parts of the die break off and leave a bubble-like metal rise on the coin. Large cuds on state quarters can sometimes sell for impressive amounts depending on size and position. You should always check the right flyer area carefully, as many die deterioration issues occur in the wings and landing gear details. The North Carolina Silver Proof Quarter is also beautiful and collectible due to its 90% silver composition. These proof coins have deep mirror surfaces and frosted devices, giving them a contrasting appearance that collectors love. Silver proof sets containing the North Carolina quarter often maintain strong demand among both silver investors and state quarter enthusiasts. While proof coins do not enter circulation, they remain extremely attractive in the numismatic market. Let's dive deeper into market value and what collectors should look for today. Circulated North Carolina quarters generally carry face value unless they feature a dramatic error or a rare variety. However, uncirculated or mint condition pieces can sell from a few dollars to significantly more if they reach high grades. Philadelphia and Denver coins graded MS-66 or MS-67 are much more valuable than typical examples. Proof coins, especially silver proofs, can bring higher premiums, particularly if they are well preserved without clouding or spotting. It's also worth noting that demand for the North Carolina quarter continues to rise due to new collectors discovering the state quarter series. Many people who began collecting casually have expanded into more serious numismatics, driving interest in high-grade examples of all state quarters. Because the North Carolina design is so iconic and widely appreciated, collectors consistently seek it out when assembling full state quarter collections. Beyond numismatic value, this quarter tells a story. The Wright brothers' first flight marked the birth of modern aviation, transforming the world forever. Their achievement opened the door to global transportation, military aviation, space exploration, and countless technological advancements. The North Carolina quarter immortalizes that moment, allowing millions of people to carry this important chapter of human history in their pockets. Every coin becomes a tiny reminder of innovation and determination. Many collectors also associate this coin with personal memories, whether it's traveling to the Outer Banks, visiting the Wright brothers' National Memorial, or simply enjoying the adventure of completing a state quarter album. The emotional connection makes the coin more than just currency. It becomes a keepsake filled with meaning. As we continue exploring the 2001 North Carolina quarter, it's important to consider long-term value trends. While the coin is widely available, High-grade mint state examples and major errors are becoming harder to find as collectors set aside the best pieces. Over time, this will likely increase interest and premium value for top specimens. Demand for silver proofs and deep cameo proofs also looks strong, especially among collectors building complete proof sets from 1999 through 2008. Coin number 4, and we will explore the bicentennial quarter, is unique because it commemorates the 200th anniversary of American independence. Instead of the usual eagle design on the reverse, this special issue features a young Revolutionary War-era drummer, often referred to as the drummer boy. This powerful image was created by designer Jack L.R., chosen from a national competition. Millions of Americans immediately connected with the design, and it became one of the most cherished circulating commemorative coins ever released. The obverse still shows the familiar portrait of George Washington, but with one major difference. The date reads 1776 to 1976, honoring the nation's 200 years of independence. Even today, this dual-dated Washington quarter remains a cornerstone of bicentennial coinage. The United States Mint struck the 1776 to 1976 drummer boy quarter in tremendous quantities. These coins were minted at 3 major facilities: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the D mint mark, and San Francisco with the S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint produced both uncirculated and proof versions, including a special 40% silver edition issued only in collector sets. Many people still search for these silver bicentennial quarters because they carry extra value due to their composition and limited release. If a coin has the S mark and silver luster, it is often part of those special sets made exclusively for collectors. These silver pieces remain a favorite among numismatists who appreciate historic American coins. While most bicentennial quarters are common, some hold more value due to condition, rarity, or unique minting characteristics. Among the most discussed are the 40% silver strikes, which are always in demand. Collectors also look for sharply detailed strikes with full drumlines, crisp lettering, and minimal wear. Although heavily circulated quarters are generally worth face value, well-preserved pieces stored for decades can still attract attention from collectors looking to complete high-quality bicentennial sets. Even regular clad quarters in pristine condition can be desired, especially those with strong features and no signs of heavy circulation. Another aspect that sparks interest in the drummer boy quarter is the possibility of mint errors. Error coins are always appealing to collectors because they represent something unusual or unexpected from the minting process. Some bicentennial quarters are found with off-center strikes, doubled features, die cracks, weak strikes, and clipped planchets. These unusual errors can turn an ordinary drummer boy quarter into a standout piece with significantly higher value. The most dramatic errors, such as major off-center mistakes or striking on the wrong planchette, can attract strong attention from serious coin enthusiasts. For many collectors, searching through old jars, inherited rolls, or pocket change can be exciting because you never know if a rare error variety might be waiting. The drummer boy quarter also carries deep cultural and historical significance. Released during the 1976 celebrations, these coins were used across the country during parades, fireworks displays, and bicentennial events. For many Americans, this quarter became a symbol of patriotism, representing the nation's history from the Revolutionary War to modern times. Children collected them, adults saved them, and millions of people placed these coins in albums, jars, and souvenir sets. This emotional connection is part of why the 1776 to 1976 quarter remains one of the most beloved U.S. coins ever produced. Collectors often appreciate the artistry behind the drummer boy design. Jack R's depiction of the young drummer, with a military-style hat and colonial uniform, captures the spirit of determination and independence. The flowing banners, the crisp drum details, and the star behind the drummer give the coin a timeless and bold appearance. This powerful symbolism reflects the Revolutionary era in a way that resonates even decades after the bicentennial celebration. Many people enjoy studying the reverse design under magnification, noticing the fine details that give the coin its distinctive look. The story of how these coins were released also adds to their charm. The U.S. Mint struck these quarters for 2 years, 1975 and 1976, but none carry the date 1975. Every quarter produced during that period carries the dual date 1776 to 1976. This makes the bicentennial series instantly recognizable. People often wonder why the Mint made so many of them, and the answer is that the government wanted to ensure everyone could participate in the celebration by receiving commemorative coins in everyday change. This was one of the first times in modern history that circulating U.S. coins featured unique commemorative designs, paving the way for many special releases in later decades. For people interested in coin collecting, the 1776 to 1976 quarter is often one of the first coins that sparks curiosity. It's common, affordable, and easy to find, yet it carries weight in American history. Many new collectors begin by examining their bicentennial coins, learning to recognize mint marks, studying the details of the design, and comparing circulated examples with well-preserved pieces. Even experienced collectors keep bicentennial quarters in albums because they represent a key moment in U.S. coinage history. The value of a drummer boy quarter depends on several factors including condition, metal composition, mint mark, and whether it has any special errors. Circulated clad quarters generally hold sentimental and historical value, while uncirculated or silver versions attract stronger collector interest. Some proof coins from San Francisco, especially the silver proofs, are admired for their sharp features and deep mirror finish. These coins were never meant for circulation and remain prized for their beauty and craftsmanship. Over the years, the bicentennial quarter has become more than just a common coin. It has become a symbol of American heritage, representing unity, freedom, and national pride. Many people continue to save these coins because they remind them of family, childhood memories, or the excitement of discovering something special in pocket change. The drummer boy quarter remains an important part of the U.S. coinage story, one that will continue to be appreciated for generations. As we explore the 1776 to 1976 quarter, one thing becomes clear: this iconic coin is more than just metal. It is a tribute to the nation's bicentennial history, an artistic achievement, a collectible with enduring appeal, and a fascinating piece of numismatic culture. Whether you collect for passion, knowledge, or nostalgia, the drummer boy quarter will always remain a timeless part of American coin history. The beauty of its design, the pride of its symbolism, the variations in its minting, and the excitement of rare errors all contribute to its legendary status. As collectors, we continue to appreciate the stories behind each coin, and the bicentennial quarter stands among the most memorable and meaningful pieces ever minted in the United States.